Prices are up for just about everything right now, and some food could be next. Alexa Liako's at a farm where the summer heat is scorching crops.
This is Jackie Dyke's backyard, one filled with rows and rows of history.
I am fourth generation on this farm.
Every day growing up, this was her playground.
Whether it's just riding along in a truck or riding along in a harvester in a buddy seat, it's kind of how it all began.
Now this farm is hers.
I love farming. I love watching things grow.
But with her love for her berries, seeds, and other crops comes the struggle of helping them survive. This year, that job on her farm outside Portland, Oregon, became the toughest yet.
We had the COVID-19 struggles. Coming into this year, though, everything was looking normal.
Normal until a heat wave hit the Pacific Northwest with temperatures above 115 degrees for days on end.
The heat and UV rays during those 3 extreme days, it pretty much just singed the fruit.
Jackie watched as her livelihood shriveled and died before her eyes.
Every time we went to look, it was like more fruit was gone. Everything was out of our control.
At least half of their crop for the year was destroyed in a matter of hours.
It was really devastating. It didn't really hit me until my dad said, we worked all year, on this, that it just felt so heavy.
And the berries they could harvest weren't the same.
What we picked, the fruit was small.
Oregon produces 90% of the blackberries for the entire United States. And in just 3 days, 77% of the blackberry and raspberry crops all across this valley were destroyed by the heat. But it wasn't just the berries that were damaged.
Along with dozens of crops, Christmas trees were hit too.
Those were planted this year, a few of them last year, but they're pretty much all dead.
Oregon is also the top producer for Christmas trees in the country. Jacob Hemphill's family farm saw at least $100,000 in losses.
Small guy like me, it's a big number. The big guys, it's a bigger number, but it's all the same scale. It's been pretty stressful wondering what trees are going to make it, what trees aren't going to make it.
His seedlings, the trees people would buy years from now, were destroyed.
So my dad used to always tell me that Christmas trees were like people, and it didn't make a lot of sense to me growing up, But now it does, because he would say they're like people, some die at a young age, some die at an old age. They're all different.
Many of his older trees were damaged too.
You can see that it, cooked it. It's going to make a shortage, We were just kind of coming out of an issue where there was a shortage of trees, and now was looking better. But long term, there'll probably be a little hiccup in the road, but we're going to make it through for sure.
All of these losses mean higher prices for the consumer, a tough reality these farmers face to make a living.
It's tougher this year, but we've had toughness. We've made it through it. That's what we do.
Farmers like Jacob and Jackie say they could really use extra assistance from the USDA to help their farms survive, and that could help keep prices lower for consumers too.
We're not just saying we need money. We're saying we need agriculture to be valued, supported, and I hope that when people are shopping and they see blackberries that they buy USA.
With more state and federal funding and support from shoppers across the country, these producers hope their family legacies can outlast the extreme weather.
The goal is that this will be Dyke Family Farm forever.
For The Race, I'm Alexa Liako.
The phenomenon bringing people to the farms that grow their food. Next on The Race.